Hi everyone. So today I will explain you features about WSO2 API Manager. So we'll go through each portal details. So as we know already, we have 4 portal in WSO2. One for Carbon portal, and one for Day portal, and one for Publisher portal, and one for Admin portal. So this 4 portal is provided by WSO2 API Manager. So each portal you have some features like some configuration details which we'll learn this series also. So we'll go through step by step process of each portal. So it will helpful for you to understand easily. Already I explained some overview and installation process about this product. Those who are watching this video newly, kindly go to this channel. So here if you scroll down, you will get the list of all videos. Like the part 1 I explained already the introduction and overview of this product. Second one already explained how to install this product and how to run that one. Third one I already explained like how to change the default port of API Manager and how to change the callback URL. And fourth one already explained like uploading our source code, we need one product, right, on environment. So that is EI. So this product, like it will execute our source code which will help us to run the APIs. The last one, like we after means set up this one, we need one developer tool, right, where we need to develop our APIs. So that is Integration Studio, which is already one default product provided by WSO2. After develop the API, we need also one testing tool. So this video I am using Postman. So you can use Postman. It's like an open source application. I'll attach all the link in the same chat. So those who are watching this video, kindly complete this video. So you'll get some more idea. So let's start like to explain like the features about WSO2 Carbon portal. So first of all, like this is one management console which will manage all type of configuration and all type of authentication process, or any like new client ID or any service provider or any user or any type of IDP configuration also managed by this console. So just example one, like first point, we have one user and role. So while you are creating any user, if you click list, right, there is two options it will come, one for users and one for roles. If you open users, you will get the default, like these all are like a default user which is already by default created by WSO2. The data it will fetch from backend. So this admin user, as we know already, we are using for accessing this portal, like for accessing Carbon portal, accessing this Day portal, and accessing this Publisher portal and Admin portal. So these portals we are using for this default user. And if you go through list, like these are like if you are creating any new user, the data it will come here. So if you go through list again, roles, so under roles you will get these are all are like WSO2 default users, means default roles. Admin role we are using for admin activity. Internal analytics, as we already know, we are using for reporting tool, that is BI, business intelligence. Now it's changed to streaming integrator. And these are some default role, creator role, develop role. And publisher we are using for accessing publisher portal. Subscriber we are using for accessing Day portal. These all are like some default roles which is already configured in this product itself. So we'll learn also how we can create our custom role, and that custom role how we can assign to our APIs. Like while you are publishing any new API, right? So we have one option like to restrict the user. Like if you just example, you are creating one user, that user you want to access the particular API. So how we can restrict that one? So this option, if you go through list, add, there is one two option is coming, right? Add new user and add new roles. So by using roles, we can create our own role, and that role we can assign the particular API. So if any customer you want to access, so if that customer don't have this role, for accessing that API, then they will not get the API in the dev portal itself. We'll learn like in upcoming series, we'll learn multiple things. So let's complete like what all features is provided by this endpoint, means Carbon portal. So this option we are using for user and roles. Second one, there is one option, user store. So this user store we are using for AD configuration, means Active Directory configuration. So this configuration we can configure our secondary XML file. So there is one option is here. If you go through our local system, so here one option is a repository deployment servers. So here like we have earlier one configuration was there, user store. So manually we can create that option also. So I'll tell you in upcoming videos, I will explain you. So for example, if you just adding like just click add and add this one. So domain name required. So if you go through domain name, I'm just adding like google.com, just for one example, google.com. So here what you need to do, so those who are using their own domain, your corporate domain, they can configure here. So there is one connection URL is there, they can configure their LDAP. So LDAP basically one AD like Active Directory. So any corporate they have one AD account, so which will configure all the employee details. So that URL you need to configure here, the connection URL, that UAD, OU and CNM, which will configure this field. It will provided by the specific team, like the specific connection name. So that will help us to access their endpoint. Connection password, it needs to be managed by different teams. So it depends on corporate, like who will enter the password. And these are also mandatory fields like object class, attribute and search filter. These are like some those who are in star symbol, like that are mandatory fields. It depends on that AD configuration details which you want to configure in the secondary user. So connection password, let me type 1234. It's just for demo purpose. Click add. So it is showing what, user store being updated. Refresh the page after few seconds to check the new status. If I refresh this one, it will take some, maybe usually take some time. Yeah, so now you could see, right, it's created one user store and that name you could see here, right, the domain name, and these all are like some configuration name. If you click edit, you will get the details about this user store. So let me go through here. So here you could see, right, there is an option, it's by default created, that is called user stores. If you open this one, you will able to get that name. So this name indicate your domain name, so it's matching with this one, right? So this product itself by default, after creating through UI, it will create one XML file. Like if you open this one, it's if you go through this property, right, so you will get that details about this one. If you double click, it's created as a HTML template. So it's created as a HTML template, and here like it will take some time, just wait for a few seconds. So you will get the details about this XML file. So you could see here, right, this is the domain name. After domain there is an extension .xml. So whatever configuration you already configured in this UI, so that details you could see here. If you scroll down, you will get all the details. And one more thing, like I'll tell you, like so here we are using plain text. After like adding that password, it will make it as a encrypted password. So here you could see, right, the connection password, it's like an encrypted password. So this password, like plain text, it will convert as a encrypted format. So this is like one option, like which is shared provided by WSO2. Third one, like claims. So these claims, we have one list option, right? So list option, if you click claims, you will get all the field details. So this field you will have multiple option like active address and some country code and display name and created time and name here, and here also fast name. There are multiple options which the default product is here, this one. So if you want to configure any specific regular expression like any rejects, you want to configure anything, or you want to change the domain details or mapping attribute, you can modify here. This option also you will learn in upcoming videos. We will learn more about these claims. So this video just features about this product endpoint, so we will learn this one. And next one is for service provider. So service provider, it depends on your portal. Just example, we are using one portal, day portal, and we are using one portal for publisher portal, and we are using one portal for admin portal. So while you are accessing these portals, by default product will create one is service provider. So this service provider is used for day portal, this service portal is used for admin portal, and this service provider is used for publisher portal. So as we already explained previous videos, the earlier port was 9443, then later we changed to 9444. So how we change that one? So those who are watching this video newly, kindly go through this part 3. So he will learn what all steps is required to change that one. Anyhow, but those who are watching this video now, right? So I'll explain you few steps. After modify, just example, this service provider is used for day portal. If you click edit, so you will get the details about this endpoint, the service provider of this endpoint, APIM underscore day portal. If you scroll down, there is one inbound authentication configuration is there. Just click this one. So you will get, for accessing day portal, we have one client ID and we have one client secret. So these two we are using for accessing this day portal. If you click edit, so you will get what is the authentication version we are using for the service, code we are using, and refresh token, and what is the callback URL. Just example, let me copy this one. So this one it's one pipe symbol is here, right? So if you copy this thing, this is for using for login purpose, and this one we are using for logout activity. So after modify that port, we need to change the port here for login purpose, we need to change the port here for logout purpose. So these two port we configured in this callback URL, right? If you modify this one only, we can able to access with the new port. And these are some few details after creating any user access token, what is the expiry date time you want to set here. Means this is for day portal, and token expiry time also, this is 3600 second, and this is for refresh expiry time. So if you want to increase or decrease, this depends on you for accessing this port. I think you already, those who are developing source code, they may be have some session timeout. So that session timeout depends on your configuration of the service provider. So this is for day portal. So same for if you open this publisher, go through inbound authentication, open ID, click edit. So here also we are using for changing the port, means for callback URL changes. I'll tell you a few more details, if you go through claim option, so here you can configure your service provider claim, and role configuration, permission, there is nothing currently by default there is no permission for the service provider. If you want to map, then we can map also. We'll learn just complete this series as a overview this video. So if I make this video, it will maybe a lengthy process. So if you scroll down, currently while you are logging this portal, right, we are using one default, there are multiple options are there. Default, this default it will assign as a username and password. For accessing this portal, we are using default. By default, WSO2 is sharing, configure this authentication type as a default. So it will make the password as a basic authentication. So username and password, that is basic authentication. So we'll learn in upcoming videos how we can configure federated authentication, means for accessing this portal we need one IAM. There is one more product is there, like that product like we are using for federated authentication, that we can use in future. But in coming this series we will complete this API manager and EI, so which will help us to develop our APIs. Okay, then this is for skipping logout. This is some default configuration. So if you want to explore more, I will attach that official link in chat, you can go through that. This is one inbound provisioning configuration which is required for activating OAuth 2.0 key and secret. By default there is no authentication enabled for this option, and these are some outbound provisioning certificates, so it's required like depends on client requirement. Okay, so there is one more option is there, resident. So as of now, like resident, there is two option which is shared by WSO2, one for SCIM configuration and one for like outbound provisioning configuration. So these two, as of now there is no use of this one. So for developing API, these two field is not required. Let's complete this series like with the API development. We'll explore more about this one. So for identity provider, one more thing, like if you want to create any custom service provider, you can create by adding this service provider option also. So I'll tell you, like just example, you created one service and that service you want to invoke in your APIs. So in upcoming series also we will learn how to do that activities also. One more thing, like identity providers. Okay, so in identity providers we have some default option, like if you want to create your there is one custom federated authentication is there. So currently what is happening while you are accessing any portal. Okay, so accessing any portal, like by default it's not asking, like if you see here, let me log out. If I click sign in, right, so it's redirecting to one same WSO2 default login page itself. So we have one option, like in identity provider, if you are adding SMS, OTP or any federated authentication service, so it will do what, instead of calling this default endpoint, right, it will call that IAM, means identity provider. There is one more product is there in WSO2. It will call that service and it will authenticate that one first as a session data key. Then it will again call back to WSO2 API manager endpoints. There is one more feature also provided by WSO2. Yeah, and let me go through residents. So this residents, there is one inbound authenticator here, OpenID. So this is the URL for OpenID server we are using for accessing this OpenID service. Second one, like SML configuration. So while accessing this endpoint, right, means your login authentication, so we have one SSO URL that is currently configured as a localhost, and logout purpose also we are using this localhost. And what is the validity period of this SSO? So that is as of now 60 minutes only. If you scroll down, there is one more configuration is there, like OAuth OpenID Connect configuration. So for generating any access token, we are using this endpoint, like HTTP localhost 9443. And for generating access token, there is one endpoint is there, OAuth2 token. So this token API we are using for generating access token. So we will learn in upcoming videos also how we can generate access token and application token by using this endpoint, which will require to authenticate our APIs. So there is this is also a list of SCIM configuration details. So these are like some default base URL, and the endpoint matching with the configuration name. Like SM user endpoint we are using for users. For group purpose we are using for groups, and for user endpoints we have one endpoint users. So same as for group also. If you scroll down, there is one more option is there, password policy. So what password currently is configured for this as per the current configuration. So if you are, example, you created one user and you want to configure that user with the password validation. So if you check this one, while creating any user or registering any user, that time it will validate the password is in between this length of this password or not. Not only length, it will validate the rejects also. So these rejects, it will validate the small character, capital character, and any special character also required, and numerical field also required. So I'll explain in upcoming series also, like some password validation about this while registering any user. That time also we'll learn this one. And this one more option is there, user onboarding, like while you are onboarding any user, right? So that time also self registration is already enabled, and eCAPTCHA, it will ask you one CAPTCHA for registering any user. And there is one SMS OTP, like if you are enable OTP of our authentication process, it will validate the OTP with this character format only. So is already mentioned in the below, maybe kindly go through this one, so you will get some more idea. And self registration callback, like while you are registering your own user, right? So it have one option like authentication login do. So it will call this endpoint. Let me go through this one. So here one option is here, right? If you click create account, right? Let's see like the default configuration is working or not. Okay, as expected it's working. So it will call account recovery endpoint. Just example, let me add QWERTY and proceed to self registration. So this self registration it will call. Here you could see, right, as per the configuration it is calling this authentication endpoint login do. So here the endpoint is matching with authentication endpoint. Okay, this is different. So authentication recovery endpoint. So this recovery endpoint it will call that sign up. But for as per the self registration callback, okay, this callback it will call authentication endpoint. We'll learn like how we can use like this portal for adding any user, and this portal also for adding any user. We'll learn that in upcoming series. Then there is one more option, ask. If you enable this email verification, then it will generate one password through email. So as per the configuration, temporary password generator extension class. So this class we are using for calling like that SMS OTP. Then login security, like as per the current configuration, if you enable this one like lock user account on maximum field attempts. So if you enable this one, if any user trying to use invalid password 5 times, then the account will lock by default. So we'll learn also this thing like how is it working or not, or actually this product is validating with that configuration or not. So this option will enable that one. And here also the duration they are already provided at one. If the lock is initiating means we need 5 minutes like to enable that user. If it is already disabled, how we can enable that one, and that interval also required for enable this user. And there is one more option is here like reCAPTCHA for SSO login. Like if you enable this one, this CAPTCHA will prompt while you are login with the user. Like just example, this is one authentication. We cancel this one. While you are accessing this dev portal, it's asking one basic authentication, right? So after basic authentication, while you are doing that one, it will ask you like one CAPTCHA to fill that one. So after fill that CAPTCHA only, it will ask us to authenticate our login process. Next one like maximum failed attempt. So if your CAPTCHA is they are giving like 3 times. So if you are using wrong CAPTCHA, so it's asking us, it's provide us the 3-time attempt to refill the CAPTCHA. Other setting, if you enable user claim, so this claim also they are asking means there is one SMS OTP expiry time also they are giving. So if you enable this one, so this expiry it will take it as a 5 minutes to means authenticate the user process. And one more option is here account management. So here if you account you want to enable, allow administrator user to disable user account. So it depends on you want to enable or disable. This option will handle that one. Multi authentication user, so it will allow claim list. So it depends on you what claim. So if you go through this one, create account, if I add randomly one user, if you click proceed self register, right? Okay, let me add one random user. So here we are getting some field, right? So this field, if you want to handle that one with the different multi authentication user, so it will manage with this climb only. So there is one climb option is here, right? So here it will manage by that one. Second one, account recovery, if you see this option, right, it's clearly mentioned number of question required for password recovery. Like if you forgot the password, you have some security question to enable your account. So how to do that one? So this feature will enable you to activate that option. So then next one, if you see some default option OTP expiry time and what is the rejects is required to enter the OTP, and what is the callback rejects URL we are using for callback, that means login authentication process. Password rejects, password reset, if you enable this one, enable the password to reset by OTP, how you can reset your password if you forgot. So this option will enable to reset your password. So same for if your password reset offline, then how we can do a user OTP and stored user claim. Through claim itself we can reset our passwords. These are some default option which is shared by WSO2. So this email template, if you are sending any email or any specific template if you want to use, so depends on you want to choose what kind of template. If your account unlock or account lock or ask password, what kind of template you want to visible to the end user, so this option will help that one. And key store, as you already know, we have one default key store for WSO2, right? So this option, it will show you the default key store of this product. So if you go through local repository repository deployment, repository resource, there is one option security, right? So you have one key store, that is WSO2 carbon.jks file. So this jks file, so through UI you can see here. So if you want to import a new key store, you can import certificate here. If you want to delete also and view also, it is visible through this UI. And some these are some constant purpose. So we'll learn these are some default product features. We'll explore that one. OIDA, this is some scope details which is handled by WSO2 claims. So if you click this update, so what option you want to disable or enable, or what option you want to remove, this option it will help you to enable that option and remove that option. There is one more option is the registry. So this registry also, it have multiple system related configuration. So it will help you that enable some email template and email related configuration, it will manage here. And this repository also, we have multiple component fields, it will manage here. Some connection also, it is handled by this configuration. They have multiple options, it will take some time to explore these options, and I will attach the official link in the chat also. So those who are watching this video newly, maybe it is complex for them, so it's a humble suggestion, kindly go through these previous videos. So they have some multiple overview about this product, so you will get some more idea. So there is one more option also, configure. If you select this one, it have account advisory, remote login. It have some additional features which is shared by WSO2. It's required some time to prepare all the thing. Already the video already length, so maybe it's make you bored. So kindly go through this video step by step. As I explained the overview and some features about this carbon portal. So you will get some more idea what all features is shared by means already provided by WSO2, and the best thing is they already have one open source this application. If you go through this one, right, search this WSO2 API manager, so you will learn 1 minute APIM git. So if you see this one, right, So these are like their official website. They already clearly mentioned everything, and the product also they already added as a asset field. So you can download this one, and how to install and change the port and all. Already the video I prepared. If you go through part 3 and part 2, you will get some more idea about this product. So I think this video this much only. So upcoming videos will explain this dev portal. 1 minute. So let me show you, like I think this already, those who know like this configuration details, they have already some idea. So in upcoming videos, like we will explain this dev portal details and also publisher portal. So there is one more portal is there, right? So we will upload one API and I will explain you. So this dev portal and publisher portal, they will get some more idea like what are these portal features. I think thank you so much for those who are watching this video. So those who are thinking like really this is helpful for them, kindly subscribe and share this video, so it will motivate me to make more videos. Thank you so much.